the defense that a Muay Thai fighter is very different to what a boxer is going to implement. A boxer is going to use their arms, obviously, to block whatever's coming in, and obviously more head movement. That's a very big part of boxing. Muay Thai is lifting lifting your knee up to your elbow, and you that continuous shield for kicking, essentially kicking, and you're using your arms obviously to defend punches coming in, but there's none of this evasive sort of. It's a very weird martial art, because it is basically, and also they don't punch much. I mean, Craig, you went to a fight with us in Thailand. They don't punch much in Muay Thai. They do it to create
it's far
some
more
distance,
effective to kick someone. It hurts.
Yeah,
there's another reason. There's another reason actually, and this came up when I was doing a little bit of research. In authentic Muay Thai in Thailand, apparently punches don't actually contribute to points during a fight at all, or as much as knees and kicks. So from a point scoring perspective, it's much more heavily weighted towards knees and kicks. So the only way that you actually score points with punches is if you are visibly inflicting shitloads of damage, or you knock the guy out.
So
you could actually in an MMA scenario, for example, or even a kickboxing scenario, be winning a fight by punching the fuck out of your opponent. But in authentic Muay Thai in Thailand, you could lose a fight on points by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get even more points for a takedown. So from the clinch, you take them down with a trip, you get even more points for that. Yeah, it's an interesting martial art. So if anyone hasn't sort of actually watched Muay Thai fights, I highly recommend it. It's some of the most action-filled fights you'll see. And it's a lot of fun. It's not the typical sort of mood. The crowds are loud, and the fighters are they're gritty, and and you're not talking about guys that fight for 20, 30, 40 fights and retire. These guys fight 300, 350, 400 fights easily in their careers.
Yeah,
easy. They 10 times what an MMA fighter would do. So yeah, these are veterans that go out there. If you look at someone like Sanchai, if you guys watched any of his stuff, he's a Muay Thai fighter, dude, and he's still fighting, and he does a lot of exhibitionist type stuff now. They put him up against guys who aren't really on his level, but dude, he does these weird things where he'll plant on one hand, go upside down, basically a one-handed handstand, and kick a guy unconscious. It's like a wheel kick essentially in football or soccer. So it's crazy. Google Sanchai, Saenchai on Instagram. Google on Instagram, but look him up.